right, folks, so Christmas is next week, and of course, we've got all of our Shop Blackstar Network products. You see them all to my left here. So you name it, we got it. Get a shot of that. Come on, get a shot of that. So now we got one more to add to all the products here. We've had other folks on talking about skincare and talking about all the different things along those lines. But when it comes to men, most of these folks we've had on have been talking about skincare and hair for women as opposed to men. Well, joining me right now is the owner and founder, Miguel Martinez. That's right, Smooth Redefining Self-Care. You got the products right here, and it's called ThatsSmoooth. And so, Miguel, glad to have you here. So take me through here. All right, so you've got, again, when you look at this business, it's a massive business targeting women. But in the last 10 years or so, we've seen an increasing number of companies focus on skincare and products for men. You got me?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I had lost my audio for a moment.
So what I'm saying is that, like, really, I dare say the last decade, we've seen an increasing number of companies really focusing on the skincare and beards and all of that when it comes to men. Talk about when did you create this and what was the impetus for it?
Okay. Well, first, I want to thank you for featuring us on your show. And I want to thank the viewing audience as well. So our journey started really as a result of personal need. So I'm a former investment professional. I was a stockbroker, then a mortgage professional. So I always had to, look presentable. And there was a time, you remember, when there was a thing about beards. And so just over decades, my skin just suffered from a lot of irritation. I was getting hyperpigmented under my jaw. Around the same time, my sons were having issues too. My son, Miguel, he was really stepping up. Actually, he went to work on Capitol Hill as special counsel to John Lewis and also on the House Ways and Means Committee, and he was bumping up badly. My other son, Robert, he was an artiste, an art curator. He produced music. In fact, Snoop Dogg's latest track, they're actually using, or his latest song, they're actually using his track, Rob Ayala. So he had issues with his beard, skin flaking, and the like. So I just decided, you know what, I'm going to do something about it, but with one caveat, because we have a strong oral history in our family. And my mother was the first one who we know of who contracted cancer. And so now we know that if you're living next to, smokestacks and you're drinking contaminated water, certainly, that's where we saw, cancer rates high. Well, that was not the case for us. And so I began to study and realized that there's this thing called acute poisoning. And I started to look at the ingredients that were in our products, things like phthalates, which actually affect your genitalia, your reproductive capacity, parabens, which cause male breasts to grow, causes erectile dysfunction, artificial fragrances. So, for example, if I put fragrance or I put parfum, I can legally put up to 300 chemicals in there to enhance the aroma. So I went with essential oils. But the point was, I wanted to create something that was effective in the way that it would not only improve the appearance and condition of my skin, but would allow me to shave and my son to shave without razor bumps, irritation. So, for example, like one of our products, our shaving cream mask, it's literally infused with Dead Sea mud, which removes impurities, rebalances the pH. It's basically a mask. Keeps your pores tight. Baobab oil actually rebuilds the skin from the inside out. And argan oil, which is a super penetrator, and safflower oleosomes to retain the moisture. So after a period of time, people started to notice the difference. and they started to ask me for it. So my wife challenged me. She said, there are millions of guys like you and the boys in America, so you should look at it. And so I did the math, and I realized that just in men's grooming, that men of color comprise about 30% of that market. That market right now, that number right now is right at about 5 billion, with 1 to 1.5 billion leaning toward luxury products. And so I always bought luxury. I'm a healthy guy, had a professional background. So I wanted to create something that was a luxury product for us, but that was built around multi-purpose ingredients that provides multiple benefits per product, as opposed to the competition is usually one product, one benefit. We're one product, 3 benefits. And so, we were successful at it. The thing I'm most proud of is that in the 7 years that we've been in existence, we've yet to have a product return because it didn't live up to its claims.
So let's talk about the products. So right here, we've got the premium natural shaving product set. That's what we got. That's what we got right here. And so we got the pre-shave oil, shaving cream, aftershave balm. So walk us through that. So shaving. Why should we be using a pre-shave oil? And why should we be using an aftershave balm? Explain that for the folks who just simply just shave and they move on.
Right. Well, and obviously, and I'm taking a skincare approach. So for us, but it's especially important for men with textured hair. What the pre-shave oil does, first and foremost, it's going to coat the skin to prevent irritation and allow the razor to glide. Ours, the way it's formulated, literally binds to the hair and makes it slick. So it prevents you from getting razor bumps because, the hair maintains, its pliability, its slickness. And I would say prior to that, of course, is we need to wash our face and always apply a hot towel, like these commercials that we see, and we have to go way back. I had an uncle who I would just watch him groom. And I remember, going to the barbershops when I was younger in Harlem, and I would watch him, wrap towels around the face and apply heat. And so it's important first to start there so that we make the hair pliable. And then when you add the pre-shave oil on, that's going to coat you, keep the hair slick so that it doesn't curl back in when you're shaving. When it comes to the shaving cream, again, as I indicated, it doubles as a mask, a Dead Sea mask. So a Dead Sea mud mask, forgive me. And so the important thing was I wanted to create something that had the thickness, the viscosity to hold up to very textured hair. That's number one. All these products that I was using for decades, the reason why I was suffering from tremendous irritation was because they didn't hold up, bottom line. So I needed something to literally hold up to prevent, again, irritation, and most importantly, to keep my hair in line so that it would prevent me getting razor bumps. But at the same time, so when I apply it, I literally apply it all over my face and all over my stubble, and I shave, and then I allow what's on my face to dry. And in so doing, just by doing that a few times, giving ourselves a facial. So there's no need for any hard exfoliants once a month or anything like that. Just by doing that, you're naturally exfoliating your skin and, removing the impurities and rebalancing the skin's pH, etc. Now, the aftershave facial balm, that's a super product. I actually use it every day, whether I shave or not. And even now, I'm sporting a very low beard. I still use it. Its benefits is first and foremost, it calms the skin, okay, with things like chamomile, colloidal oatmeal. And then it's got beta-glucans, which helps to rebuild the skin. but also beta-glucans is to the skin what mortar is to bricks. It fortifies it, protects it against environmental stressors. There's natural menthol, which cools the skin. There's hyaluronic acid, which women know about way more than we do, but what it does, that carries 100 times its weight in moisture. So it keeps the skin plump and youthful looking. And then the ingredient I have in there called safflower oleosomes, and that is nature's moisture delivery system. So what the oleosome does, let's say in the safflower plant, is that it releases hydration constantly so that the flower doesn't wither. So we actually grabbed the patented formula. It's not our patent, but we infused it with safflower oleosomes to release hydration all day long. So it is non-greasy. None of it's going to compete with your cologne. And it's very light, but it's going to keep your skin hydrated and protected.
Absolutely. Now, before I go to our panel, before I go to Joy and Gray to ask questions, I've been doing this for several years now. You have this two-piece single blade razor. And for the longest, a lot of men were sitting here buying the razors, and they were spending crazy amounts of money buying razor blades in stores. And a lot of folks have been going to these blades here where you're just buying the steel blade replacements. Explain why.
Okay, well, it is interesting. If you see here, this is a 1950 Gillette Black Beauty that I inherited from my uncle. And
wow.
The family gave it to me. And even before that, you see this straight razor, and this is 100 years old.
Now, that bad boy was used for some other stuff, too. We're not going to go into that.
That's right. It started to go out of style in World War I, because in World War I, they had to wear gas masks to protect from chemical warfare. But the reason why that razor is so good, first of all, it does have new technology. I don't know if you open it up, you'll notice that it's got a heavy handle.
Yeah, this is a very heavy handle.
It's got a knurled handle, so even if your hands are wet or soapy, it's not going to, and I was going to it's a two-piece, so you turn it upside down to open it.
I got it.
As opposed to three pieces, and you just stick it back in and just put the blade on, roll it back on. But the benefit, the real benefit to that razor is that first and foremost, it's perfectly weighted so that you apply zero pressure to the blade. The other thing is with the closed comb and the design that it has, it's not going to put too much of that blade on your skin in order to irritate it. So it's going to give you a very close shave without irritation. All you do basically is you tilt it 30-degree angle, and you take short strokes, and you spin it and take short strokes. The other thing is it's more environmentally friendly because it's made out of chrome-plated solid brass. So it's made out of metal. So if it was left and lost in whatever amount of years, it's going to disintegrate back into the earth as metal. But the other thing is that it's permanent and it's really more economical. Because if you really look at the cost of cartridge razors, which affect us more, because first of all, those razors were really created for men with straight hair. That ain't us.
Okay, hold on. This is a black show, Miguel. Those razors were created for white men. Go ahead.
Right, plain and simple. And the reason being is that because their hair is straight, that first blade literally comes and it pulls and overpulls the hair, so that when the other blades come, that means the hair has some space between the skin and where it is in the follicle. And see, that doesn't work for us because first of all, you have 2, 3, now up to 5 blades coming against barely protected skin, which means it's taken off too much of the skin barrier. When that happens, the first thing that the skin loses is moisture very rapidly. But the other big danger is that by overcutting our hair, and if it's sitting below the skin level, then when it dries, it's going to do its natural curl. It's going to curl, wave, and that's where that's the main cause of razor bumps.
Wow.
And I speak to a lot of young cats that, man, I'm afraid of razor. I said, first of all, groom shaving was invented in Egypt by men who look like us.
Come on.
So we created the game. We were the first groomed people on the planet. So it's not that, it's technique. And if you look at pictures of your grandfathers and your great-grandfathers and great-uncles that were shaving, you don't see them bumped up. It's the method of shaving and having more than one blade. Also, if you go to any premium barber who shaves in the world, why aren't they using double multi-blades?
Yep.
They use a single blade because it gives them precision. It allows them to shave close. And there's a method of shaving that, in a nutshell, with our system, you're going to get a barbershop level shave, but at home. And we also have instructions in there on how to use it.
Greg, first question, Greg, from Miguel with ThatsSmoooth.
Man, that this is an amazing conversation. You're absolutely right, Brother Miguel. I've been to Egypt a dozen times, Kemet, and led tours, and what you don't see on those walls is men with beards. Usually the beards are the foreigners. So I mean, but the shave is tight, and across Africa, where are the bumps? The fades are tight, man. So I want to ask you. I wanted to ask you about your mother, and I wanted to ask you about your beloved Harlem. And when you lifted up that straight razor, of course, I thought about Bumpy Johnson. And so I want to ask you about the. No, I wanted to ask you. See, you so cool with it. I've been looking at the website. What is the role of style in general and Harlem style in particular in your approach, brother?
Well, Harlem, it's like, and I grew up on 125th Street, so you can imagine I'm a couple of blocks from the Apollo, and just in my era, even the gangsters, like, they dressed up. I mean, I don't know what decade that happened, in the 90s or early 2000s, where thugs wanted to look, like thuggish. So
Well, it all changed when Timberlands became dress shoes.
right.
I'm
exactly.
sorry. I got to wear shoes that are either suede or can be polished.
Right. And also growing up, you talk about the sneaker style now. So in Harlem, we would dress. I mean, alpacas, we were impeccably dressed. And we even had a sneaker game with it. But back then, it was like Pro Keds, but they made them in several different colors. So, you throw them on, but that's when you were casually dressed. You wouldn't do it in a suit. So Harlem has this history, of it being a place of renaissance, of art, of culture. And, so, that's part of it. And then the other part of it, going back to my mother, our parent company is named Audia for Shave. My mother's name is Audia, okay? And she's Black Puerto Rican. My father's Afro-Cuban. And so she just always wanted us impeccably dressed. In fact, I saw pictures, and when I went into my professional life, and when I was looking at, having to dress the part, I was like, man, like, mommy had me dressing this way when I was 5 years old. I mean, French cuff shirts, cufflinks, bow ties, braces, wingtips, split toe shoes. She would have our clothes custom made even. And she was at the door making sure that we looked presentable before we left. And if not, she would send us back to do it. Now, she didn't necessarily care how we looked coming home as long as our clothes weren't ripped up, because she knew we were all athletic. But so she really set that standard for grooming, because she said to me that I'm never going to get a second chance to make a first impression. And most importantly, she just put in me that ability to dream. I remember watching a television show, I don't know, Father Knows Best or something like that, and I saw the way they were living. And I said, so Mom, what's it going to take for us to live that way? And she said, well, first of all, you have to do great in school. And I'm like, okay, that's not a problem. She said, but then you have to go to this thing called college. And I said, okay, is that another school? She said, yeah, but that's a school that you have to pay a lot of money for. And unfortunately, I won't be able to pay for it. But she said to me that there is nothing nothing that's ever been done by any human being on this planet, and she's a Christian, short of Jesus Christ, they not accomplish it. So as long as you set your heart and your mind and you keep committed to it, then God will show you a way. And so, and he'll get you, to college. And that's how I wound up at first, the basketball scholarship in Texas, but then I transferred to Howard University.
Well, first, it's so funny.
And carries me to this day.
It's so funny. Before I go to Joy, when I look at this brush, all I can think about, my dad had like a coffee mug, and then
exactly.
And you know how you would sew the soap, the hand soap, and then it'd be like that little piece left. They would simply crush that up, take that brush, put some Greg laughing up. Put that brush in there.
Oh yeah.
Put that brush in there, and that was the shaving cream. So Miguel, I understand because my dad used to get clean and dressed up to go grocery shop. I'm like,
exactly.
He just going to the grocery store.
And even if you had blue collar parents, which most of us did, the men in my family, they came home, they showered, they got dressed.
Right.
Even if it was to be at home. Or just to go outside.
He would shake it, clean up, get dressed to go grocery shopping. I was like, where he going? Oh, he come back with some grocery bags. I'm going to throw some sweats on. Joy, what's your question?
Well, first of all, let me just thank Reese for leaving early so I can be on with these three fine black men. Y'all are just looking great tonight, Miguel.
Thank you.
Miguel, woo! Listen, let me ask you, what are you doing, to get in some stores so that we can, the more
we ain't getting no stores.
Products.
No,
Wait.
Joy, they going to the website. We buying direct
All right, we'll go
black.
to the website. That's fine.
We buying direct
we'll go to the
black.
Website.
Yeah, but I'll answer your question, Joy. And actually, I was watching Boris Kidjo, and I think he gave a great explanation. What it is, we have been in retail. We launched in Whole Food stores. Okay, and then when Amazon purchased them, they went from, if you know, Whole Foods mantra was local first. So we started in one store in Harlem, spread around the region. Amazon comes, purchases them, and they go national first. On top of that, they didn't want to give us exposure on the website, and they had this marketing or merchandising deal that we had to do, which I felt that it was a loss leader. Because if no one's showing your product that has the incentive to sell it, more than likely they're not going to sell it. So we pulled out of that. We were accepted, and our products were offered at Macy's. And it was online because it was during the pandemic. And we now do have product that's being sold in bulk department stores from Maryland through Texas. But we're not renewing those relationships. And the main reason why is, and this is what our people really, really have to get, and that is when I'm dealing with a retailer, okay, first of all, since the pandemic, nobody's afraid to press a button. You're going to get what you order. Number two, the deal with a retailer is this. We are sending our customers to the retailer, and then the retailer maintains the first-person relationship with our customer. So even if I'm stocking a retailer, okay, and let's just do the math. You give up 50 cents on the dollar just to establish the relationship.
There you go.
You have to come up with additional capital in order to put end-of-aisle displays on, to put visual collateral up. All that comes out of our pocket. And then third, they want us to spend tens of thousands of dollars to market to you to send them to their store. And I will never have more than a second person relationship. Right. So you're going to take it off the shelf, but the reality of it is I have no way of communicating with you. We don't have a one-on-one relationship.
Right.
So
you actually can't collect data.
Number, and that's the big one.
Yep.
So therefore, by going direct to consumer, we establish a one-on-one relationship. We have data readily available, instantly, daily. And the other thing is, when we now have the pricing flexibility that we lost with a major retailer so that we can offer special pricing and other things. We can run specials when we want and things of that nature. And then the biggest thing, and Roland, you're big on this, and this is why I'm such a fan. You see, black people have to understand that there's a difference between income and wealth. And let's go there for a second. Black and brown people earn $3.2 trillion in America alone. Left alone, we probably be the 5th largest nation on earth. But why is our wealth 1/10 of white people? Well, and it's because through quote unquote integration or what have you, they learned the method to remove our money from our pocket ASAP.
Yep.
And so we're earning this money, number one. Number two, thank goodness, because when the internet got live, that's when I saw it as the great equalizer.
Yep.
So now we can put in whatever you want, and you can finish it by a black-owned company, a black founder, what have you, and you're going to get a list of everything. Heck, we're even building cars in Atlanta. So the fact is that when we circulate our money within ourselves, which is what, Shop Black Star Network, and now, places like, Shop Red Bag or directly with us, then now by circulating that money, you are building community wealth that allows us to be able to provide resources and things of that nature to our community. We don't have to worry about DEI. We don't have to worry about any of that because we have those trillions of dollars that are circulating as much as possible, and we're raising up multi-million, $1 businesses that really, really impact us.
Listen,
that's the story.
I get this here real quick before we go. We had our fast channels. We had 4 fast channels. We were on Prime Video. We were on Freevee and a couple of others. And the reality is it was costing me more money to send the signal than I was making in advertising. And what they wanted me to do, they wanted me to go hardcore to promote, watch Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network on their channel, but I wasn't the one making the money, and I couldn't even sell my own ads. They sold the ads. So I canceled the channels. That's why I canceled them, because I would rather tell people, go to my YouTube channel where my economic split is actually greater than what their split was. But again, what I keep telling people, Miguel, when you understand the money game, then you understand how business actually works. Folks, the product is called ThatsSmoooth. I want y'all to go to shopblackstarnetwork.com. If y'all are buying Christmas gifts, hey, this is a great gift for the men in your family. You got some teenagers, they start shaving, uncles, cousins, you name it. Again, you've got the brush, you've got the blade, you've got the pre-shave oil, you've got the aftershave balm, you've got the beard oil, you've got the exfoliating beard and facial wash, all of that. So go to shopblackstarnetwork.com. And I keep telling y'all, when you buy from shopblackstarnetwork.com, not only are you supporting the black business with the product, you're also supporting this show because we also participate economically. And so you're actually helping build multiple black businesses. Miguel, we appreciate it. Congratulations on the product.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to be trying. I shaved before I came on the show today. I shave every other day. So I'll be trying out your razor on Saturday.
Yeah, please. And listen, I'd love to hear from you and tell me your experiences. Of all the hundreds of reviews that we have, we average a 4.8 out of 5. And just one last thing, too, for our women who shave as well, women love the product because when they use the shaving cream, they also use it as a mask, but also by shaving under their arms, the last thing a woman wants is to raise her arms and her pit be darker than the rest of her skin. So it's all about the hair texture and not whether it's a male or female.
Yep.
Your texture is just like ours, and y'all shave more of your bodies, those of you who do shave, than even us men.
All right, that's smooth. ShopBlackStarNetwork.com. Miguel, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. It's my honor and a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Let me thank Joy for being on today's panel. Let me thank Greg. I'm not going to see y'all before Christmas. Y'all have absolutely Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, anything, what was it, Hanukkah? What else we got? All the holidays mixed in. So whatever y'all celebrating, do all that. Y'all enjoy yourselves. I appreciate it. I will see y'all.
I just bought a shaving kit.
There you go. That's all. That's what from shopblackstarnetwork.com. That's what
I sure did.
That's what I'm saying. So we appreciate that. So thanks a bunch, folks. Y'all have a fantastic holiday. I'll see y'all, of course, after the new year. To everybody who's watching the show, thank you so very much. Don't forget, support what we do.